Hi there, welcome to Spirit of Change. My name is Shalini, and we have been in conversation with Sister Shireen, who's from Tampa, US. She's been taking us through a lot of issues, which eventually create a lot of stress. We spoke about breakup, we spoke about depression, we spoke about financial troubles, and now we are going to talk about something which is very interesting, and that is bullies. So welcome, sister.
Hi, Shalini.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you.
Thank you. It's a privilege to have you here too. Sister, talking about bullies, how do we understand the consciousness of a bully, the mindset of a bully?
At some point they were not bullies, even, they were not bullies. So something must have happened, in their life that would make them into bullies. And so we have to first understand them not as this awful person out there, but as a human being. We have to look at them as a human being.
Yes.
And as a human being, they are doing certain things that are not good, that are not conducive for society, that are not conducive for you. Maybe, maybe the other person is bullying you, maybe your boss is bullying you and it's not good for you. But try to see them not as a boss, or not as in the school, someone is bullying you, or on the street someone is bullying you, but see them as a human being has gone astray a little bit.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem very easy when you are actually in that situation with, a bully. So how do you what is the mechanism that can go on in your head immediately that you can just use, which can actually first protect you from getting hurt? Because when somebody is bullying you, it's, it either makes you feel fearful or scared.
Right.
So
the first step is definitely we have to step away from that situation, right? We don't sit there and get bullied.
Yes.
Right? So first we have to take the physical precautions needed.
You mean even if it's like moving away?
Moving away. And in the US, let's say if children, if children are bullied, they can go complain to the principal.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay.
Right? So you can go through the right channels. I don't know what channels are available here. Let's say if, because when I lived here, which was aeons ago, eve teasing was very horrible.
Yes.
Right?
That's also,
That's bullying. Also a form of bullying, where you just totally, you're stalked around forever and ever, and it's just not the right thing to do. So I don't know what channels are in place here to do it, but to find a channel where you physically protect yourself.
Yes.
So I'm sure there are channels, but look for channels. Just don't tolerate it.
Right.
Just don't tolerate it. Somehow find a channel. I remember in my case, there was one guy who was totally bullying me, stalking me around and totally bullying me. I found where he lives and went and spoke to his mother.
Yeah.
That really stopped it.
That was the channel.
That was the channel.
And you reached the right source.
So that stopped, right?
Yes.
And so, that was many years ago, and I don't know if it's as simple as that, but I'm not sure what some channel, because in different parts of the world, there are different channels that would really work.
Yes. Talking about the mother, I was just thinking, what role does a parent play in this behavior of the child? Like you said, maybe all of them were not always bullies.
Right. But I was surprised when I went to meet his mother. His mother was a doctor. And so I was like, so you're educated and your son is doing all of this stuff and you're not even aware.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel really parenting is everything. If you've noticed bullying in your child, you should say something about it. Because bad parenting and allowing your child to be a bully is really bad for society.
Yes.
And so you have to have repercussions. You have to say, no, this is not acceptable behavior. And so I feel parenting is everything sometimes.
But Sister Shireen, this is like if your child is, you see your child behaving like a bully, but sometimes is it, like a lot of parents use constructive criticism. They say that it's good for the child, but a lot of criticism sometimes, starts building that aggression in your child, and he starts, because he's getting suppressed somewhere from his friends or teachers or parents, and because of their behavior, he goes around, trying to bully somebody else.
That's
Does that
true.
also-
That does happen, but that's why I'm saying we have to find the right channels.
Yes.
Okay, so after we find the right channels and make sure that we take the right physical precautions.
Yes.
So whatever I'm sharing is after the physical precautions. These are not instead of the physical precautions.
Yes.
Because you can't meditate your way out of a bully.
Right.
Right? I mean, they are there, and if they're doing something to
Yes.
you, you need to take physical precautions.
Absolutely. So, talking about that you said they are there seems to be a system all around us.
Exactly. There is a system of vice.
Yeah.
There is a system of vice that the whole world lives on right now. And in the Brahma
system
Kumaris,
feeds off the vice.
yes,
and
the Brahma
survives.
Kumaris, it's called the kingdom of Ravan.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the vices rule. People think anger is really good, or
Yes.
people think you can't get any work done without anger. People think greed is a nice thing to do,
Yes,
because then
attachment.
how are you going to have money if you don't have
Yes,
greed?
yes.
People think attachment is a good thing, because how are you going to, who's going to take care? Your parents might say, if you
Yes.
don't have attachment to me, who's going to take care of me when I grow old?
Yes, and the ego. What if people will take you for granted if
Exactly,
you don't have a
the
little
ego and stuff like that, or you don't
Yes.
show off how much you did or what you
Yeah.
did, all of that. So people, the whole kingdom, it's a kingdom.
Yes.
And in this kingdom, the vices rule. In the current kingdom, in the world outside, the vices rule.
Yeah.
And without the vices, people think they cannot live. But what I feel is, if I am part of that system of vice, even in a little bit, then the other part of the system comes to bite me. So let's say I might not be a bully, but I'm greedy. I am attached, right? Because of these two, then the bully will also come and
You attract the bully?
you attract the bully. But it's kind of like a Pandora's box that gets unleashed.
Okay.
So what happens is...
So it doesn't come one...
Everything gets unleashed.
Yes.
Right? Let's say, in the US currently, what happened is a lot of the Indians voted for Trump, Donald Trump, because they felt he was going to give them a tax break or something like that. But whatever reason, it'll be tough on Muslims, whatever reason, voted for Donald Trump. And now, because they unleashed a whole hatred thing, because there's a lot of racism, anti-racism violence going on. There's a lot of violence against colored people, a lot of violence against Indians and all of these.
Yes.
So, but what happened is, if you've unleashed something, you can't say, let's say if you've unleashed hatred.
Yes.
You can't say that that hatred is just going to go to those people.
Yes, it's going to go everywhere.
It's going
like
to
a
go
virus.
everywhere.
It's
Yes,
like a virus.
It's going to go everywhere, and it's going to get you.
It is going to affect everybody in some or the other way.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you are part of a system that unleashes hate, or unleashes anger, or unleashes greed, they're all connected.
Yes.
So when they're all connected, what happens is, if you're part of this system, then something in that system will come to bite you.
How do I go about this entire thing? How do I, suppose if I'm somebody who doesn't want to be a part of this system, I'm somebody who likes honesty, probably.
But then you have to see what is your contribution of the vices.
Yes.
You have to take out every vice of yours from the system. Stop engaging in it.
Yes.
with your vices. I'm not
Talking
saying
about
stop
the
engaging about the
vices.
system. We all have to be part of the world. We don't go away and go off into the Himalayas. We don't do all of that stuff. We have to be part of the world, but don't engage your vices in the world.
So the way I would like to put it is, if I know, like physically, if I know there's a virus, I'll do something to protect my immunity, to strengthen my immunity.
Right.
So what should I do to strengthen my immunity? Because I cannot go off to the Himalayas. I have to stay with the,
Right.
with the ones who are carrying that virus, but I shouldn't let them affect my health.
Right.
Like, I feel for a person who is honest, nowadays it's so difficult for that person to actually preserve his value. Because people will be telling him, why are you so honest? You're not going to go anywhere with that honesty.
Right. But what I've heard, that not only that you're not going to go anywhere with that honesty, I was talking to someone, a government official here, and he was scared for his life. Because he was honest, he felt that the corrupt people in the government will take him out.
Right.
Because he's preventing
a part of the system.
Yes, he's not preventing anyone else from getting money and doing all of those things. So that's a very tricky thing. What I have noticed is, and of course every situation is different, and I'm not saying this is the only way, but this way definitely works, along with the physical precautions, and that is the only being that is totally pure, totally non-corrupt. The only being is the Supreme Soul.
Yes.
It's totally pure, loving, peaceful, blissful, the ocean of wisdom, the Supreme Soul.
Then why is it that we have, you do see sometimes God is being, in certain scriptures or, in certain cultures, God too comes across as being a bully. So,
Because the human beings wrote the scriptures.
Yes.
Right? God did, right? And so, because human beings wrote it, then they have put their negativity into the scriptures.
Yes. And why would we remember him if he's also
right? Exactly. What happens is they have given God their negativity instead of taking God's virtues.
I remember a beautiful line that you had said once. I would like to re-quote. We feel God has our DNA in him, whereas it's the other way around.
Right. It's not, he doesn't have the vices in him.
Yeah.
But we actually have a semblance of that peace, a semblance of that love. We have that. And so what happens is, when I am able to really connect with God in that very pure, just remember, even just remembering that there is a source that is very, very pure, untainted by the vices.
Yes.
And don't look at the scriptures of, God is angry and he's sending this chakra and that thing and that thing. Don't look at all of that.
Exactly.
Because that possibly is written by a human being who was very angry.
Yes. Now, so do I take the power from God and then face the situation where, because there are bullies around me, and what if I really want to preserve my value? And still, I cannot leave the office, or I cannot leave
no, you
work.
shouldn't be. But apart from the physical precautions, we have to do this meditation.
Yes.
Is remind ourselves of our own intrinsic power.
Right.
That internally the soul is very powerful. And then take power from the Supreme Source.
Yes.
And then handle whatever is going on.
True, yes. So could we have a meditation?
Sure. Let's take a deep breath. And visualize yourself outside, looking at the powerful midday sun. The sun is in full brilliance out in the sky, and you're looking up at the sun. You can't look for too long because the light is so powerful. So close your eyes, blink a few times and then look again. As powerful as the sun is, that's how powerful the sun of knowledge, the ocean of knowledge, the Supreme Soul is. Now become aware of yourself as a soul, and become aware that you're a child of the Supreme Soul. And just as powerful as the sun is, that little bit of power is within me. I have the same spiritual DNA as the Source. And I absorb that power from the Supreme Soul, and I take it inside. I fill myself with power. And this power is becoming a source of strength for me. Mentally, I feel very strong that I can handle any situation, any person. There is a solution, and I have to find the right way without resorting to violence. In this calmness, in this quietness, the solution will come to me. And with that thought, I come back to the here and the now. Om Shanti, I am peace.
That was lovely. Thank you so much for that lovely meditation. But somewhere, I was also thinking that a person who projects too much of bullying or aggression outwardly maybe is somewhere, lacking, or is feeling
definitely.
very empty
They need
inside.
service. They need our help too.
They need our help. They need our
That's why they're
service.
doing it. If someone who's really happy and full and content, they wouldn't be doing such things.
Yes. So how can we, give them that kind of, mental vibe, or, you could say mansa seva, what we call.
Right.
What can we,
the service through the mind,
Yes.
right? And so what happens is, what I've noticed is, in my life, there was this one time I feel I was being bullied by my boss.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, giving me a really hard time. And so what I started doing at that point, I started getting up at our morning meditation, 4 a.m. And I used to do my regular meditation. And at the end of it, I would take about 5-10 minutes and really send him positive thoughts.
Yes.
You're a good person. You're a wonderful person. You're a soul. You're a child of God. All of those kinds of thoughts. No negative thought. Just really positive thoughts.
Right.
And would you believe it? Within 2 weeks, the whole situation changed.
Oh, that's lovely. So that works.
It really works. And that is just one example. There are so many examples in my life where I used this kind of just very simple, it doesn't have to be, when we say service through the mind, it doesn't have to be major thoughts.
Yes.
Just simple thoughts. You're a soul, you're a child of God, you're peace, you're love, and that's all. Don't have any other thought. Don't say, oh, but you do this, or but you do that.
No, that dilutes the
Right. So you just say, these are you, this is who you are, and I have so much love for you.
So what you mean to say is, when I send these vibrations, the soul on the other end becomes receptive to
Right,
those?
and they do receive it.
Yeah.
They receive those vibrations, and you will see a difference in the situation.
Okay, well, that's really beautiful, because sometimes you can't confront them.
Yes.
or like
Right.
or have a verbal
Right, especially
argument with them.
if you're in a boss situation where you need the
Yes.
job and you're like, I can't do anything about this.
Yes, so that was really amazing, sister. Thank you so much. And on that note, we'll end today's episode. Thank you. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
We had this negative, like a perspective for bullies, but we understood that, they also somewhere, maybe they have been conditioned to become like that. They always weren't bullies. And we could send them mansa seva, or positive vibrations through our meditation, with the security that there is one being in this world who is, forever pure, forever above all these vices and all the human, the drama, the game. So we can take the power from him, and we can actually bring about that transformation in our relationships where we feel bullied or where we are the bully. So if you have any questions or would like to get back to us, please do that. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. Om Shanti.